Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So, I'm almost done with the whole backtracking situation of the Arrowverse. Now, I want to make a little thing, a small adjustment. I've been making small adjustments here and there. The whole backtracking and retracing my steps with the whole Arrowverse, and I should be back into before I get back into where I left off. I want to say this. It is evident, or the evidence that Pretty Little Liars Season 3 does take place during the events of Nikita and Lost Girl Season 2, because Hannah name drops, keyword name drops, Nikita in episode 24, which is evidence that we are talking shared universe, a shared Earth 1 here. So, it is not to my surprise, it is not by mere coincidence that everything does take place on Earth 1. From Nikita to Roswell to the original Charmed series, to Charmed, to, if you want to throw in Gilmore Girls as Sam being undercover while being a monster hunter in his younger days, sure, go ahead, fine. Let's go with that. If you want to throw in Dawson's Creek in that, in Earth 1, sure, fine, do it. But I'm not. But, I mean, I guess I will, because it's the CW, aka old WB Warner Brothers network, which... Anyways, so Nikita and everything else that is centered around that takes place in America on Earth 1. Pretty Little Liars takes place a few states away from what's going on in Vampire Diaries. And yes, Vampire Diaries is canon. I am canonizing Vampire Diaries because of supernatural aspects. And yes, it does also take place during, I want to say, season 8 or 9 of Supernatural. Somewhere around there. And it does take place. And yes, the evidence does prove that it does take place during the last year, the last official year of Oliver Queen being on Lian Yu, which, in fact, on his last official year of being on Lian Yu, he was working with John Constantine. So, yeah, it does take place during everything. And we are about to cross the threshold of everything being out in the open, with Oliver Queen being discovered as not dead but alive, which will be the focus point pretty soon. And so yeah, at this point, he's been in the hood or in the shadows for quite some time now, for about 5 years, and everything happening in America has been on the news or in the newspapers, which does make sense. Even if Oliver Queen's supposed death is not actually dead, or actual death occurred, it does make sense that in that span of 5 years, we have seen vampires be outed. We have seen a death of a teenage girl, or supposable death of a teenage girl, apparently. Monsters being real and being hidden, being kept a secret, and being outed. In Maine, we have people with mutant meta-like abilities, but they're not considered mutant or metas. They're called troubled, because Stephen King which does also take place during Haven. Okay, which makes sense. And yes, Haven is canon. We've seen monster hunters in this universe, which is canon. Supernatural. And yeah. Oh, and a few other nods to Batman. Yes, I am saying Batman is canon because Hannah does name drop Batman. Not specifically one. She says, in, I want to say season 1, she says, the bat signal. She references it. She references the bat signal as like her own variation name, which is kind of name dropping Batman. Also, she also says the Cape Crusader, and various others have said it. So it is pretty clear that Batman does exist, but isn't around. And I will explain why Batman does still exist but isn't around before I get into Batwoman, because that's more of an indication why we haven't seen Batman, the actual Batman, in anything DC or Arrowverse related, which I will touch upon, which I am going to canonize Gotham as canon, specifically because of where it takes place and when it takes place. And that should be it for the last backtracking, but it should be all over soon. But anyways, yeah, it ends. Oh, also I should mention, it ends in season 3 of Pretty Little Liars, ends in January of 2011, 2012. So it does make sense that we are about to uncover the real reason, and it takes place, to be honest, it really does take place a year before Oliver Queen is found alive. So, makes sense. A year to 10 months before Oliver Queen is found alive. So it kind of adds up. 5 years, 4 if you count, 4 to 5 years during the whole Oliver Queen time gap, which adds up in a way. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys so far. Please like, share, subscribe, and now I can be back in the whole 2012-2013 year before I move on to before I backtrack and pick up where I left off from Haven season 3. So yeah, anyways, once again, that's all I have for you guys so far. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a good day. Thanks. Bye.